Okay, good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Happy to have you here. Okay. Right. Okay, so let me invite our guest speaker who's already in the house to get started. There are different teams that are doing. I see someone is already asking me. They're doing the 300 days challenge, and I've already posted that signal on the Crypto Ambassador groups and Crypto Ambassador Telegram. So it is free to share other team signals, right? And you are free to use them to trade. But as the Crypto Ambassadors, we shall stick to the signals of the preset price. So you don't expect me to drop that signal on our challenge because we want to use the preset price. But you are free to use the other signals in the day that are being dropped. Remember, our signal happens in the evening, right? But we can be able to drop as many as possible depending on the capital you have. So we don't want to limit you, okay? So that said and done, I want also to just a little bit talk about the new updates on the API binding before I invite our sharer. Okay, I know some of you, you might be having challenges on your API. So this is the new API binding style. Wow. Just $1 to hit my target. See this, so sweet and nice. $1 to hit my target. Okay. Beautiful. Just $1. Just like this, $1. $1. Hey, hey. Okay, let's go to the API binding. Okay, the API binding is a little bit stylish. Let's just look at it. Let me try to replace, and I show you the new API as our speaker gets ready. When now you go in your Binance account, hope everybody pays maximum attention. When you go to your Binance account and tap on more, and then you tap on API, here you want to create the API. I'm talking about the new style, Okay, the new style of API. Okay, let me see which one I'm removing. I think this one. Okay. Hope I'm not removing others. I think it's the one. Okay. Now, when you tap on Create API, you tick this area, System Generated. You continue. You write in the word Royal Q. I will name mine Royal Q1. You tap on Next. It's going to come. You fill in the puzzle. You verify. Let me verify very fast. Let me verify very fast, ladies and gentlemen, so that I show you what I'm talking about. So I think this is for the phone number. Then let me pick that of the email. Let me pick that of the email. So as our presenter is getting ready, you wanted to show you this. The new API binding style. I'm just trying to show you. Okay, after you have got your codes and you have been successful on this. Okay, there we go. So let me put in the authenticator. So you create your API very well, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, now when you tap on edit now, and you copy maybe this secret key. I'm just showing you how to delete this API. You copy your secret key, you paste it here, you come back, maybe you copy the API key, you paste it this side. You need now, before you continue, you need now to first copy the IP group binding. This is where most of you are now not winning. Copy the IP group binding, come scroll down here at the end, tap on restricted access to trusted APIs, paste, confirm, then it is going to open this area here of enabling spot and margin trading. From your start, this is not open. Then you tick enable spot and margin trading only. Don't go into this that people talk about, whitelist symboling stuff. Don't go in for that. So after that, you save your work. After that, you save your work. Okay, let me confirm with the Google Authenticator. Okay, so I'm done. So you see, when I come back to my royal queue, I now tick here. Then I'm going to get my code. Then I'm going to get my code. Then I bind. So that is how you bind. I'm gonna do a short video, I think after this call. That's how you do the new API. There is a change in the API, ladies and gentlemen. So that's how you do the new API. The new API is changed, has been changed. It's not like the previous one we are doing. If you don't copy the IP group binding, you cannot bind your Binance account. That is the new API. For all those that have challenges with creating the API binding, I think I'm gonna make a short video after this Zoom call, and I show you first copy the IP group binding, paste it into your royal queue, confirm, then enable spot and margin trading to be able to continue. Thank you so much. That was a new update that is happening in a Binance account. Someone is inbox me. How do you know this? Because I'm an active user of the robot. I'm an active user. I activate people. So how do I help them? There's no way. Okay. And also, please get involved in the challenge. If you have more capital, please enjoy yourself. If you have more capital, enjoy yourself. I've also dropped another challenge that is done by another team, okay, led by Dr. Mani. Okay. You have also dropped it on all the groups. So if you have your $1,000, you had dedicated $500 for this challenge, you could also dedicate another $500 for this challenge. All right. You dedicate 500 for this side, 500 for this side. You keep winning double. Hey, you keep winning double, right? Okay, so thank you so much. I wish you all the best. And allow me, ladies and gentlemen, invite our guest speaker tonight. Okay, I know you'll now find that our Zoom is on a focus mode. It's also a new add onto the Zoom application, and you'll be able only to listen and see pictures and videos for the presenter only. So our Zoom is on a focus mode. So the previous challenges we have been having, where maybe someone switches on a video, distracts some people, on our new strategy now, our Zoom is on a focus mode. I want to thank so much the Zoom support for being able to support us this way to keep our team focused. That said and done, ladies and gentlemen, allow me welcome our presenter tonight, who takes us through the cycle trading strategy. As the crypto ambassadors and the team superstars, we believe that someone should trade the USDT market on one shot and trade the BTC market on a cycle. Although we have been providing the BTC one-shot signals, which we are going to look into if we can continue, but basically now we believe that someone should trade the BTC on a cycle and trade the USDT market on the one shot. That said and done, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Julius Kabanda. Allow me welcome our chief guest, our friend, our brother, one of the crypto gurus I know, this gentleman now. He is one of the people very good in mentorship and coaching. He is a mentor to the many. But before I do so, I want to welcome different leaders on the call. Protocol observed. I've seen some V4s. Leader Doris Angel, happy to have you here. Different leaders, protocol observed. Leader Saumia from Dubai, V3, happy to have you here. That's it and done, ladies and gentlemen. Allow me welcome our chief guest, our presenter tonight, none other than Coach Manish, all the way from India. Welcome, sir, and take over.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Leader Julius. And it's been a wonderful opportunity to share the screen with you, share the platform with you on this wonderful platform. And thanks so much for giving me this opportunity every week that I share some of my knowledge that I have learned from you and many other coaches to all the people we have here. So, welcome all of you. I hope we are all here and we are all excited. How many of you are excited to learn about BTC accumulation and BTC compounding? How many of you are excited? You can type in the chat. If you're excited, please type chat. Please type excited in the chat. If you're excited, just show your excitement. You can show your excitement in the chat. And as I share my screen, as I share my presentation from here, so let me go to my presentation, and I have something new for you, right? I have something new for you, as you can see. So let me put it into the presentation mode. Just give me a few seconds. And here I go. Present. Hey. So this is a part of my team's regular presentation that we do twice a week, Wednesday and every Sunday. We do a presentation, but I will pick some part of this presentation to start with. Then we will go to Royal Queue. So let the screen load. Maybe it's taking a few seconds. I think it's a bit delayed due to network. Let me try again. I think. Okay. Try again one more time. Till then, as I share, you can show that you are excited to learn a beautiful part of knowledge that you must have, that you must learn and also deliver to your team, so that everybody can get this knowledge and start working in the best way. So give me a few seconds while I load my presentation. Okay, so I think I'm ready to share. So it's lovely to see all of you people are excited and we are here together. Let me share my screen and let's go to the presentation now. Let me know, Leader Soumya, if you can see the screen, the full screen.
Yeah, Manish, it is clear. Just no, no, no. Set it on the center of the screen. Yes,
Down, it's clear, right?
absolutely fine. Wonderful. Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. So I will start with this beautiful concept. As you, most of you must have seen before. It is not my own concept. It is a theory given by world famous author that who's known to be one of the most intelligent financial advisor, one of the most intelligent financial author of all time. His name is Mr. Robert Kiyosaki, and in his first book that he wrote about cash flow quadrant, he gave this theory to the world, and till 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 from there till today, all the organizations, all the big businesses, all the corporates, everybody is following this beautiful cash flow quadrant. See in the screen, right? So what is exactly meaning of this cash flow quadrant? According to Mr. Kiyosaki, and you must agree that there are four ways to earn income in this world. All of us maybe earning, maybe working in different ways, different areas, different ways. We are all earning to we are all working to we are all working in some of many ways to earn income. But if we divide all the people in the world, if we divide all the people in the world into these four categories that you see on the screen, that then you will agree that even you who's listening to me right now, you must fall into any of these four categories. We all fall into any of these four categories. What are these categories? In the left side, you see there is E, that is an employee, right? This is an employee. Employee means working, a working person who works for a job, who works for some company, and he earns his living doing a job, right? So many of us are into jobs. Second category, as you say here, this is the first one, this is the second one. This is called self-employed. Self-employed people are those who don't work for any company, they don't work for any boss, but they work for themselves. They have their own job. Maybe they are professionals. Like you see, many doctors are there. Many doctors open their own clinic. Many advocates work for them. They practice their skills, and many self-employed people, like many professionals. Maybe you know some plumber, you know some electrician, you know some technical guy, you know a mechanic, you know many sort of person, even a barber. All of these are self-employed that work for themselves because they have some skill, because they have some they can sell, right? So these are called self-employed people on the left side of the quadrant. And when we go to the right side of the quadrant, we business owners. Business owners are basically they are people who own a big business, who own a big business, like they own a company, or maybe they own a franchisee, they own a very big organization, and in their company they have a lots of employees working for them. So basically, if you are an employee, you must be for some business owner, right? So if you are a business, then you must have some employees working for you. 5 employees, maybe you have 10 employees, maybe you have 100, or maybe you have that. So how business owners earn? You must agree, if you are an employee, if you are working company, if you are in a job and you are working for a company, you must have an ultimate boss that owns the company. You must have an superior boss that owns the company, and no matter how hard you work, no matter how hard you work, you cannot earn more than the boss. You cannot earn as boss is earning. Why? Because you are limited. Your income is limited to the hours, to the time that you work. If you can work for, you will earn according to the 8 hours. If you can earn for if you can work for 12 hours in a day, you maybe you are earning more than other people who are working 8 hours or 9 hours. So the time is equal to money. If you see, if you read here, you have a job, time is equal to money. How much time you work, you earn according to that. But what is the difference between an employee and an employer? Business owner who's also an employer, he owns a system and people, he owns a system where people work from him, and he owns a in multiplication of all the people they are working for him, all the people who are working for him, and he multiplies their times, he leverages it. This formula, if you can leverage other people's time, other people's effort, other people's knowledge, other people's skills, then you can earn much more than all the other people. Because all the people, all the employees in the world, they earn as much as they can work in the working hours, right? But the time barrier is broken by the business owner. He breaks the time barrier, and he can multiply his time. Suppose you are an employee, maybe you can work 20 hours out of 24 hours. If you are a very hard worker like Mr. Maybe you can work almost 20 hours a day, and you can earn double than your friends who are working 10 hours or 8 hours a day. Maybe you are a very hard worker, but you cannot work more than 24 hours in a day, because we all of us have 24 hours only. But for a business owners, there is time limit. Suppose you have 100 people in your company. Suppose you are a business owner and you employ 100 people in a company, and each of them works 8 hours a day. 8 hours a day. So you can be able to multiply 100 into 8. That means for 24 hours, in every 24 hours, you are earning according to 800 hours of work. You are earning as an income that is equivalent to 800 hours in one single day. In one, so that is the power of leveraging. That is why most of the richest person in the world, either they are business owners or they are investors. So this is a fourth category. Who is an investor? Basically, he is not an employee. He's not working for some, and he's also not self-employed, and he's not also a business owner. He doesn't open a company. He doesn't many people and work. They pays. He pays him salary. Pays them salary. He is an investor, and his money is working for him. His money works for him, and he income. He earns an income as much as he as the income as much according to his investment in all the businesses that he has invested. Its income depends on the capital. So now you can agree, now you can feel proud. We all are very lucky that we fall into the fourth category, this fourth category, that is investors. So we have a capital on which we can earn as much as we want. Our income will depend on only two factors. The first is your capital, and the second is the knowledge you have to make that capital work for you most efficiently. So that we will discuss in the later part of the presentation. But if I ask you, who is the person out of these four, who's the person who earns the maximum, who is the richest person? You can see an employee is limited to his working hours, but a self-employed, he earns more than this. He earns more than an employee. But when we have a business owner, he earns more than an employee and as well as a self-employed. He is the one who's earning more from them. But as an investor, he can earn even more than all three of them. He is the richest person. He is the most intelligent person who can enjoy financial freedom. If he can make his money work from him, he can enjoy financial freedom. He can go to a beach lay down under a coconut tree and enjoy his life of along with his family. He doesn't has to go to office every day. He doesn't has to go to his manager every day and ask how the work is done. He's only interested in how his money is working, and he can enjoy a life of laptop lifestyle, what we call a laptop lifestyle, that he can just check his laptop or his smartphone and go to any part of the world, and he can enjoy a life of freedom, right? So this is why we shift from this left quadrant. This, if you can see, this is the left quadrant, this is the left quadrant, and this is the right quadrant. And if you analyze, as according to Mr. Robert Kiyosaki, who is the author of this theory, he says out of all the people in the world, all the population in the world, almost 90% are into the left side quadrant. Either they are employed or they are self-employed. And only 10% people are into the right quadrant. They are either business owner or either a investor, right? And the second fact, is more surprising, even more surprising, that out of all the wealth in the world, you can accumulate all the wealth in the world, whichever form it is, almost 90% of all the wealth in the world is earned by these right side people, who are only 10% of the world's population. And the remaining 10% wealth is earned by these 90% people who are in the left side quadrant. So if I explain this theory to a 12 years old or 14 years old child, I suppose we all are adults here, but he's a child. But if I explain this theory to a 12 years old boy, a child, and I ask him, what is required to become rich? What is it one factor that you must do if you want to become the richest person in the world? He will reply, the first thing you need to do is to move from the left side quadrant to the right side quadrant. The first thing, the most important thing that you must do if you want to become rich person, if you want to fulfill all your dreams, you must move from the left side quadrant to the right side quadrant. Either you can become a business owner or you can become an investor, because all the wealth in the world lies in the right side of the quadrant, right? So move from left to right, move where the money flows, move where the money flows, you will get a part of it. You can get an part, right? So we are so lucky. I always say in my presentations, we are so lucky, we are so blessed that we can enjoy an income that are only available to these two right side quadrant people. In Royal Q, we also have this opportunity to earn as an investor, as well as we can build a team and we can leverage their time, their effort, their capital also, and we can earn like a business owner. So if you are into Royal Q and you have just joined a few days back, you must admit this fact that we are so blessed, we are so privileged that we are working in the right side quadrant, and we can enjoy an income that is earned both by we can earn an income that is earned only by the business owners and also by the investors in the world, right? So this is why we must focus on this thing. Another thing that Mr. Robert Kiyosaki told in his book, that is the world's best-selling book. If you go to Google and search Rich Dad Poor Dad, or you search cash flow quadrant, you will see that it is all-time most selling book, most selling financial advice book of all the time. No other book has been sold even more than this book. So this is a bestseller. And one more thing that Mr. Kiyosaki explained in this book is that if you want to become rich, you must know what is the difference between a poor person and a rich person. What a poor person's habits and what are the rich person? A poor person only focuses on his expenses and liabilities. A poor person only focuses on his liabilities, how much he has to pay so that he can earn as much as he can be able to pay his liabilities, right? But a rich person, he works to pay the liabilities. He works he works to focus to accumulate as many assets as he can. He wants to accumulate as many assets in his life so that he can enjoy a life of freedom. So, what is an asset? According to Robert Kiyosaki, when someone asks him what is an asset and what is liability, what is the difference between asset and liability, he explained in very easy manner that even a child can understand. Everything that takes money out of your pocket, anything that takes out the money from your pocket is a liability, and anything in this world that puts money into your pocket, that is an asset. So this simple explanation. If you have some asset, any form of asset that is putting money to you, that is putting money into your pocket or into your account, and you are increasing the value of the asset in the coming time, then you are accumulating an asset that can make you rich in the future. So this was the first thing, right? And second thing, this was the first basic introduction, and I want to give another theory, another comparison that I can explain to you. Maybe you agree with this, that in your country also this data may apply or may not apply to such extent, but it is a universal data. The second thing, the first thing that I just explained to you was about how you income, how you earn your income. So if you are into left side quadrant, you should focus on shifting to the right side and accumulate more and more of assets into your portfolio, into your life, so that you can soon become a rich person. So that is about earning. Now if you have started earning money, maybe you are earning money from a job, or you're self-employed, or you're a businessman, or you're already an investor. Anyway you are earning money, most of us focus to spend uh, maybe 90% or 80% or 70% of our income. We spend all certain a big amount of our income in our daily expenses to support our family, to pay your rent, to pay your electricity bill, to pay for your food, to pay for your children's education, and all other things. So all the intelligent people, and talking about the most intelligent people in the world, what they do, they try every month to save some amount of income that they earn every month, and they start to save it. And in order to save it, they have to, what they do, they invest somewhere where the money grows. Because if you keep it inside your pocket, or your in your wallet in your home, maybe it's when you see some expenses coming, you can you are intended to spend it, right? We cannot stop ourselves to spend it. So in order to save it and keep it safe and keep it growing, we must invest it somewhere that we cannot withdraw on every day. We cannot withdraw every day, but we focus that we should invest somewhere where it is growing more than the inflation rate. It must grow more than the inflation rate. So I don't know about your country, how much is the inflation rate, but in my country, India, it is almost 7.5% per annum. 7.5% is the inflation rate. So in my country, if I go to a bank, the most common practice that people do, they go to a bank and they put their money there, and if they put a money into a fixed deposit account for maybe 5 years or 10 years, the bank managers tells them that I can give you at least 5 to 6% or maybe 7% interest per year, per annum, right? So, but this is not more than the inflation rate. This is not crossing the inflation rate. So even if I put my money into a bank and lock it into a fixed deposit account, and I go after 1 year, the I will find the same value of money that I put to today, right? I will find the money is in the same value that I put today, because in the coming year the inflation will drop the value of money to 7.5% every year. Maybe it increases in your, maybe it is more than 7.5 in your in some countries it is almost more than 10 or 11 or 12%. So this is not a working way. This is not a smart way. Another way people do, they buy some gold, they buy some precious metals like silver or diamonds, and they think that if we if we accumulate some gold and after a few years maybe its value is will increase. But we have seen the data. Please go to Google and research how much the value of gold has been increasing for the last 10 years. For the last 10 years, it has increased only 9%. Only 9% in the last 10 years. I'm talking about 10 years, not 1 year. So it is not very good investment also. Some people do mutual funds or SIP. I don't know is it working in your country, but in our India we have mutual funds, we have SIP, that every month you deposit some a fixed amount of money into this, and they will be investing it to maybe stock market or some other markets and some dividends. So they can give you a higher return, maybe almost double than the bank is giving. You can see bank is giving 6 to 7%. Now we can earn 12 to 15%. So this is good. This is good because it is more than the inflation rate. This is the inflation rate. And some people are also interested to invest in the real estate. Real estate means you buy some land, or maybe you buy some commercial property, and you are an owner of a real estate, and you focus that if I sell this, if I invest and hold this investment into my real estate, and maybe in 5 years or maybe 10 years it can grow to almost double or triple the amount. We have been seeing that real estate market has been falling all these years. There is not much return on investment even in the real estate market, due to the recession you are seeing in global recession, due to many factors. So you can earn almost up to 20% per annum, almost 20% per annum. But this requires a lot of investment. Not easy. You cannot start with $100. You cannot start with $200. It requires a big investment. Nobody can start with a small amount. But still, this is considered to be the best. I cannot say best, but it is considered to be the most profitable till now if you compare with all these other options, right? This is the most profitable. Maybe you can earn 15 to 20% or maybe 25% per annum, right? But when we see cryptocurrency, if you go to this side of the screen, you see a graph that is showing all the figures that I just explained. And when you see here, you see a big tower, a big, long, high tower. This is indicating the growth of cryptocurrency. And you can see here the minimum average person growth that an investor in a cryptocurrency, if he has some knowledge about cryptocurrency, he can earn a minimum of 100% per annum. Minimum 100%. That is very minimum I'm talking about. There are a lot of people who are earning much more than this 100%, maybe 500% in 1 year. But I'm not trying to exaggerate the things. If you can invest in cryptocurrency, and if you have some knowledge, so minimum you can multiply your wealth up to 100% per annum. And even if you are able to multiply to 100% per year, it is still almost 10 times that you can multiply in all other these various options. financial instruments that you can think of. So that is why all the people in the world, they are seriously thinking, they are seriously uh, researching this thing, that how we can earn from cryptocurrency, right? How we can earn from cryptocurrency. So we all know, we already into cryptocurrency, we all know what is cryptocurrency. It is basically a digital, it is basically a global digital currency that is working all over the world at the same value, and it is digital, it works on internet, it doesn't has any physical quality that you can touch or store it. It is a digital money that works globally. It runs on blockchain technology. We all know it works on blockchain technology. That is a very high, advanced, and fast mode of transferring any payment, and also a very high and secure way, the most secure way that you can store any asset in the world. It is hack proof, you can say. And third quality, it is a decentralized. It is also decentralized. So nobody, no single person, no single company owner or single authority can control it. Even your government, even the banks, central banks cannot control it. They cannot put a limit to this, and they cannot change it if they want to, right? So it is decentralized, no central authority, and it is a global digital currency, right? So this is about cryptocurrency that we already know. Now the most important part, how much has been the growth in cryptocurrency? If you see, there are more than 22,000 cryptocurrencies in this world, and the first one, the mother of all them, was Bitcoin. The mother of all the cryptocurrencies, the first one, that was Bitcoin, that was started in 2009. So I will show you how it started. So if we compare the best performing assets in the world for the last one decade means 10 years. So I'm not comparing it to little things, little assets. I am comparing, you must you must you must know this fact, that I'm comparing with the most successful companies in the world, the most successful, the most richest companies in the world, which we all know. So I'm comparing it, you can see here all the companies that I'm comparing it with. If you see here, the first company I'm comparing it with, Amazon. We all know Amazon. It is the largest e-commerce market in the world. It has captured almost all the market in the world, online shopping market. And if we see what is the growth of Amazon company, so think like an investor. If you are giving this, if you are investing your capital into some businesses, some investment option, so you must know which are the best performing assets or the best performing companies in the world. So if you see which is the number one e-commerce company in the world, it is no doubt it is Amazon, right? But the last 10 years growth is only 1000%. If we asked Amazon, what is your last 10 years growth, it says that it has grown to 1042% growth in the last 10 years, right? Then we go to the richest company. Which is the richest company in the world? Can anybody tell me? Which is the richest company in the world, who is owned by the richest man in the world right now? He's Mr. Elon Musk, and his company name is Tesla. Tesla, which invents driverless cars, electric cars, and he's also the owner of your famous Dogecoin, right? So when we if we think to invest in the number one company in the world, the richest company in the world, still we can find that it has given the maximum, the most profit, the most growth, most profitable growth in the last 10 years, that is around 12,000%, more than 12,000%. So this is the growth of the richest company in the world. And we all know Apple. Maybe most of us are using iPhones or iPads. Maybe you are attending this Zoom meeting on an iPhone. and you are a proud owner of an Apple device. So if you ask the CEO of Apple how much your company grown in the last 10 years, he will tell that almost 700% is what my growth in the last 10 years, right? We know S&P has grown a little of around 277%. We all know Google because we use Google for in our daily basis. The Google company has grown almost 700%, and we all use Microsoft in our computers, in our laptops. We use Microsoft, so it is the most you can say most the pioneers of technology in the computer, in the internet. So they have grown almost 1000% again. And here is our little investment that we all love, especially the ladies in the house. They love to buy some gold jewelry. So if you are a gold owner, you must know that the gold that I already told in the previous slide, the gold has grown only 9% in the last 10 years. That is the minimum as compared to all these other businesses. And again, see a long tower, a long tower. What is this? This is actually a growth of Bitcoin in the last 10 years. So if somebody sees that how much Bitcoin has grown, you can see here, it has grown almost 5 lakh 7, it has grown almost 5 lakh 70,000%. 5 lakh 70,000%. I don't know in millions how you call it, but you can see here, you can read yourself. So this is the most potential, most profitable asset of all the time, of all time. No other company, no other financial asset, no other asset in the world that you think of, no other company in the world has given so much growth in the last 10 years if you compare it with Bitcoin. So just think of it. If you were able to invest some amount of your savings into this Bitcoin in the in the last 10 years, before 10 years, if you are lucky, you invested some amount of maybe $1,000, maybe $100. If you have invested some amount of savings into this Bitcoin before 10 years, how much your investment would have been grown? It would have grown almost 5,70,000% growth. So no other asset in the world. If someone, if my, if some friends, if some friend tells me that Manish, you can invest in real estate if you have some money. I have a very good, I have a very good property that is selling now, and in the coming 5 years or maybe 10 years, it can grow to 100% or maybe 200%. So I can show him this figure, this data, that even if your asset, your land, your property, your real estate, it is giving me 500% growth, it is giving me 1000% growth, that is actually not possible because even the largest companies are not having this kind of growth in the last 10 years. Still, I can invest my money into that golden, that is called digital gold, which is called Bitcoin, which has given a growth of 5 lakh% in the last 10 years. So this is why the most serious businessmen, the most biggest billionaires in the world, even most of the CEOs of these companies that you see in the bottom, most CEOs of these companies, even if they are billionaires, they are the top earners in the world, still they are investing their money, some amount of their capital, into this best performing asset. This is the best performing asset of all time. And no other investment option, no other asset can come even close to this. So if you have some capital, if you want to grow your money, you must think of this, that which is the best performing asset in the last 10 years, which can grow my investment, my capital to multifolds. So that makes the crypto the best digital assets as compared to any other form of investment. Are you finding these figures, these data exciting? Are you finding this exciting? How much excited are you to know these facts? These are actual data facts. I'm not talking about any predictions or any hopes or any dreams. I am giving you actual facts. So how many of you are excited to hear this? How many of you are excited to know about these facts? How many of you are excited? Just show how much you do you want to invest into this Bitcoin? How much you are excited to earn income from this cryptocurrency, and especially Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin is the mother of all the cryptocurrencies, and it is still date is the best performing asset in the world, right? We all agree. So let's go further and let's study how much the Bitcoin has been performing in the last 14 years from when it started. So let us go to the next slide. Let's go to the next slide, and I will show you the best chart that you will ever see in your life. This is the most interesting chart, and it is the most valued and most powerful chart in the world that all the cryptocurrency investors they always follow. This is called Bitcoin stock to flow chart. What it shows, it shows the growth of Bitcoin from the point it started till today, and how it has been growing, and what is the trend of its growth. If you have some knowledge about charts, how to read the candles, and how to identify the trend of the market, that our leaders are already coaching you, already teaching you. So you must understand, this is a very simple way to understand that is the market going up or down, right? Is the Bitcoin market going up or is it going down? So you can see every day the Bitcoin prices are changing. Even every hour the Bitcoin prices are changing. But if you look at the bigger picture from the point it started till today, so when it started, let me show you. It started in 2009. This was the starting point when the Bitcoin was formed. The first cryptocurrency in the world was formed, and a group, or maybe an unknown people, they started the first blockchain, and they mined the first block on the blockchain that was called a Genesis block. And this way they made history, and till today nobody knows where they went, where they disappeared. But the Bitcoin is running for the last 14 years. It started 2009, 3rd January, and previous month was January, and we all celebrated the 14th birthday of Bitcoin, right? So it started from here, and you will be surprised to know from the first year to the third year, in the first 3 years of Bitcoin, when it started, its price was not even $1. It was below $1. Maybe it was around $0.4. $0.4 for the first 3 years, because nobody understood what is this. This was something new, because nobody has ever talked about a digital currency that is not controlled by any bank or any central authority or any government. This was the people's money. So nobody believed, first of all, right? Nobody believed. But after a few years, some pioneers were just investing into it just for fun's sake. They had some extra money that they don't know how to invest, where to spend, and they started buying some Bitcoin. So this era was called a pioneers era, because the initially people were little curious about what is this new thing Bitcoin, and how is it going to grow, so in this pioneers era, one wonderful event happened. One wonderful event happened. That was the first event. Before that, nobody knew that this can be traded for value. This Bitcoin can be traded for value. One fine day, there was a person, or the father of a few kids, maybe two kids, and his children were hungry. And they were asking for pizza, but he had no money. To pay. Then he remembered, I have bought some thousands of Bitcoin. So I have some Bitcoin in my wallet, but I have no money to pay to the pizza boy. He just wrote on internet. That if anybody can send me 2 pizza for my children who are hungry, I will be happy to share my 10,000. I will be happy to pay my 10,000 Bitcoins that I have for 2 large pizza if somebody can send me, right? So nobody was interested, but there was one person that was owner of a shop that you must know, Papa's Own Pizza. And he saw this message on internet, and he decided that even if I don't know what is Bitcoin and how much is it worth it, but if I'm if the person is saying his kids are hungry, his children are hungry, I can be kind enough to send him these 2 pizza. So he sent him 2 large, and in return, the person paid him 10,000 Bitcoin. So can you imagine paying 10,000 Bitcoin if you have right now for 2 large pizza? Is anybody in the house who will be willing to pay 10,000 Bitcoin for 2 pizza? If I sent you 2 pizza right now, will anybody pay me 10,000 Bitcoin? Maybe you will call me a joker, right? You will call me a joker. I'm not kidding, right? Maybe call me crazy, but this guy was not crazy because his kids were hungry. He didn't knew how much Bitcoin will going to grow in the coming years. Now, in a recent interview on a TV show, he the most you can say he was feeling like a most stupid person of the world. That I am that stupid person who paid 10,000 Bitcoin that I had that time for just 2 large pizza for my kids. So that was the starting of a new trend that you can pay in Bitcoin other than your US dollar or your local currency if you want to purchase something, right? So that was the first trade that happened. And till today, that date is remembered as a Bitcoin Pizza Day. It is remembered as a Bitcoin Pizza Day. So after that, many people were they started this trend, and they wanted to pay using a Bitcoin or some other cryptocurrency, right? So in this way, Bitcoin started to be traded. Some people were buying it, some people were selling it, right? So that's how we do now. We buy and we sell. That is called trading. So that's where the trading happened. And in this era, the Bitcoin prices touched to a highest point. This was the highest point, all-time high. We call it time high because no other time was before that the prices reached to this level. If you can, these are the prices. If you can see here, these are the prices and these are the years. So the prices are into multiple of 10. You can see here. So if you cannot see, you can enlarge the screen. You can just double tap in the middle and you can see here this $10 mark. This is the $10 per Bitcoin price. And the all-time high of the first era, that is called a pioneer era, was about $10, maybe around $12 or $14. So in this era, we saw an all-time high that was around $12 per Bitcoin. So if you see this now, maybe you can think that it was so cheap. It was so cheap. One Bitcoin for just $12. But for a person for a person who bought a Bitcoin in $0.4, who bought some maybe many Bitcoins in the price of $0.4, and its value increased to almost $12. That is, I think, thousands of percent, many thousands of percent. So he is the happiest person. He's the happiest person now. My asset is growing, right? My asset is now performing good. But after that, when it touched the first all-time high, this was here, the prices began to fall down to a lower limit, right? Then what happened? Then an historical thing happened, an historical event happened. If you see this line, this is called Bitcoin halving. This is called Bitcoin halving number 1. So this was the first halving event. And if you don't know, this is the most anticipated, most awaited event in the world in cryptocurrency. That is called Bitcoin halving. And it happens after every 4 years. After every 4 years. It is decided that after every 4 years, the Bitcoin halving has happened. I'm not going into the technical part, what is exactly Bitcoin halving, but as an investor, we must understand that this is happening every 4 years. And when it happens, its effect on the, what is it effects on the market, that we must understand, right? So if you see here, before the first halving happened, the prices were going down. But after what happened after this halving, the prices started to rise. They started to rise. First they touch here. This was even above the previous high. Then the prices went down a little. Then again touch the new all-time high. A new all-time high. That was much higher than the previous one. If you see here, this is the 1,000 mark, and it was above 1,000. So previous high we saw around $10 per Bitcoin, and now we are seeing a new all-time high. That is around $1,000 per Bitcoin. So this shows the prices are into uptrend, but it is not a clean uptrend. On every era, the prices rise, the prices fall, and it happens every day, every hour maybe. And now we enter into the second era, that is called a spectacular era. Why it is called spectacular era? Because the pioneers didn't knew what was the potential of Bitcoin. They just invested out of fun sake. Maybe some of their friends were asking, I bought a Bitcoin. So the people started following each other. So this was the start of the second era, that is called spectacular era. Why now people are investing into Bitcoin? Not to try it, but they understood. All the investors in the world, they became interested that a Bitcoin that started below $1 reached to $10 in the before the halving, and now the halving happened. The first halving happened, and it touched a new all-time high of more than $1,000 per Bitcoin. So this was very interesting. This was very tempting, actually, right? So what happened after it touched a new all-time high? I think my screen has been gone. Let me close and start again. Just give me 1 second. Okay. Okay. Let me load it to the full screen. No, not yet. Now it's okay. I hope now it's showing on the full screen. If anybody can tell me. Right. So where were we? We were into the second era. I hope you can see my screen and hear my voice clearly. If anybody can confirm.
Yes, sure. We are hearing you well.
Thank you, Coach Chulis. So we were into the second era that was called a spectacular era, that most of the people were interested and they knew the potential that Bitcoin has created a new all-time high, and it is much higher than the previous high, right? After that, it touched the new all-time high. The prices again started to fall down, but people knew now that this is becoming a habit of the market, that it comes to a new high, then start to fall down, and they were waiting what is going to happen after the next halving. That is called the second halving. So after 4 years, again the next halving happened, and before that we saw a downtrend in the market, a bearish trend in the market, but again after the second halving the prices started to go up. There was a bullish market and it touched to a new all-time high. You can see here a new all-time high was created, a new all-time high which was much higher than all the previous all-time highs, much higher than all the previous all-time highs. This was around $10, this was around $1,000, and now this you can see it is more than $10,000 mark, more than $10,000, right? So this we saw in the previous era, that was called a retail traders era. Why it is called a retail traders? Because till now most of the retailers, most of the merchants in the world, they realized, they started believing in the power and potential of Bitcoin, that this is a wonderful asset that is growing in value every year and touching a new all-time high. So what they were interested in, they were interested to accumulate more and more of Bitcoin. So how they can accumulate? They started, the people who are into retail trade, they started accepting Bitcoin at their shops, at their restaurants, at their outlets as a mode of cash payment, right? So if you don't want to pay in US dollar or any other local currency, you can now pay in Bitcoin. Just transfer your Bitcoin to the shopkeeper's wallet and you are good to go, right? You can eat at the restaurant, you can go to shopping mall and pay in the form of Bitcoin, right? So this era is called retail traders era. And even the online merchants, even the online shopping malls, they started to accept Bitcoin as a mode of payment. Like you can pay in your US dollar, you can pay in by credit card, through your Visa card, your MasterCard, and same way you can pay through Bitcoin also. So this started to uh, increase the acceptance of Bitcoin even much more than before. Because when you go outside, this is a common fact. If you go outside in the market and you want to buy something, and what you see almost all the shops have their sign displayed at the window that we accept Bitcoin. You can shop here and pay with Bitcoin, right? So what is this? What does this the effect it creates? It creates a ripple effect. That this is a new digital money that we can use, right? And almost all the all the retailers are interested to accept this kind of payment. So this is acceptable, right? This is not illegal. We can use this. So this increased the curiosity, this increased the awareness, and this increased the interest of almost all the investors in the world who have been following Bitcoin, who have been studying Bitcoin for the last 10 years maybe. So they saw that this is the new digital money and new form of investment. So the people started to buy more, and when people start to buy more, what is it happening? The prices are increasing, right? So this way the prices increased to a new all-time high, and when it touched the maximum highest point, the market started to fall down as usual. And you can see here it touched to this point when the third halving happened. So maybe a few of us were at that point in the time, and you were in witnessing this wonderful event in the last 2020, in the 2020, when the third halving, the last halving that happened was in 2020. Maybe a few of us were there, and you saw that this halving happened and the market started to rise again. And it touched a new all-time high that was around 69,000 per Bitcoin. We all know that the highest price the Bitcoin has touched so far is 69,000. But after that, we saw a recession. After saw that a bearish market. So if you are not new to this chart, if you're not new to this chart, you must understand what trend of the market. What is the trend of the market? So if you study this chart, you come to know a few points, a few truths that make you understand, that make you believe in the power of Bitcoin. First thing that you notice, if you see carefully, before every halving happened, the Bitcoin prices touch a new all-time high. You can see these are new all-time high, and the next all-time high is always higher than the previous all-time high. It is not below the previous all-time high. You can see here, this is the highest all-time high, and it is much above. And same way, the retail traders all-time high was higher than the previous era all-time high, and the spectaculars era all-time high was much higher than the previous era's all-time high. After every halving, what happens? The first thing we must note this. That after every halving, Bitcoin is going to touch a new all-time high that will be much higher than all the previous all-time highs, all the previous. So if we are into this time, here, we are here right now. Where are we? 2023. And what is coming in the coming year? In the coming 2024, the next halving is going to happen. You cannot stop it. Even if you are new to cryptocurrency, even if you are most experienced person, and even if you leave this industry right now, this is not going to change. It will happen. If we stay here or we leave the company, this is going to happen. So what is going to happen? The next all-time high must be higher than the previous high. That is higher than 69,000. And the most experienced person, the biggest experts are saying that it should be around here. You can see this blue line. The blue line is a trend line that is running. And the most experienced person are saying that it will cross $1 million mark. It will be even more than $1 million. And even some of them are saying that it will be more than $2.5 million. So will you believe if I told you that the Bitcoin you just bought, what is the current price of Bitcoin? It is around 23K, right? We are saying 23K, around 23K. And it touched this one previous year. And if I told you that the Bitcoin is going to cross more than 1 million mark. Just stay in this market for the next 1 or 2 years. Your own Bitcoin, even if you don't buy more, even you don't do trading, just keep it holding, keep it in your hold, keep it inside your wallet. Its value is going to be more than 1 million, what you just bought at the rate of 23,000. Will you be ready to sell it before the next halving? How many of us are ready to sell it? How many of us want to sell it before the next halving? Nobody will want to sell it. Nobody. Even if I give you more than the current price, even if the price is 23,000, I give you 25,000. You won't be willing to sell it, because you know, as an investor, we all know that what most experts are saying, that is truth. That is truth. And I can give you more proof. The first proof that all the all-time highs are higher than the previous one, right? So the next halving, after the next halving happened, it will be more than 1 million. That is an estimate, right? That is a calculation, not a fake prediction. It is not a fake prediction. It is a calculation using many algorithms, many calculations, many indicators, many trend lines. They have come to this conclusion that it is going to touch 1 million or above, more than 1 million mark. The second thing that you can notice in this chart, that before every halving, this was the first halving, you will see a bear market. The prices will go down. Did it happen before the next second halving? This was the first halving. We saw again a bear market. Maybe 1 year or 1.5 years, we saw a big bear market before this happened. Even it happened before this third halving. And now we are here. Do we see a bear market right now from the last 1 year? Yes, of course. We saw a bear market in 2022, and still we are into bear market. Still it has not crossed the previous all-time high. So this is happening. This is a habit. Of the market. And the third thing that you notice, that after every halving, the prices is going to rise, right? After second halving, the prices went up, and so it will be going up after the next halving happen. So even if your Bitcoin that you bought at 50,000 per Bitcoin, maybe some of you have bought a Bitcoin at the price of 69,000 or 65,000 per Bitcoin, and even if you have your portfolio is showing around 50% or 60% floating loss, even if it is showing floating loss of 60%, still you must be hopeful, you must be confident that after this halving, that is not very far, just coming year 2024, what I bought at 60,000 or maybe 69,000, it is going to rise and it will touch a new all-time high, and maybe it will be higher than 1 million per Bitcoin. So if you study this chart carefully, you will agree that these are not hopes or dreams. These are actual facts. That this is happening before and after every halving, and this is going to happen again, like this was happening before, right? So if you are an investor, if you are a trader, if you are a person who is having any of the cryptocurrency inside your wallet, you must be sure that even if you are seeing a floating loss of 40%, 50%, or maybe 70%, still we are heading towards profit. We are heading towards a big profit, a big opportunity that is not very far away. We are just entering into the bull market. The next era that is That will be called a government era. That will be called a government era. Now we are into corporate era. What is corporate era? Most of the big companies are already investing into Bitcoin. And you hear these news every day, every day. Tesla is investing, Microsoft is, Google is has accepting, even some banks are investing, many billionaires are investing. Even Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, he is investing. He is buying more and more. He says when the, but you know what he says? He tweeted a few days back, maybe a few weeks back, that if the Bitcoin price is going to fall down, I will take my truck and buy more and more of Bitcoin. I will back up my truck and buy more and more of Bitcoin because I believe in the power of Bitcoin halving. After the 2024 halving, the Bitcoin prices will go to more than 1 million. So this is how this chart shows how you can see the future. If you cannot see this future, you cannot make good decisions, because we cannot see the future. Nobody can see the future, but we can analyze the history to predict the future. If we are intelligent enough, if we have this knowledge, if we have these eyes to see the past and study it and calculate it and analyze it, we can clearly see the future. We can clearly see the future, and you know where the future is going. So if you can see the future, just the first advice that I must give you, just stay into the cryptocurrency. Just stay here. Don't leave. Don't quit. Don't go outside. Just stay and be patient. Even if you don't see profits for many days, just stay here. That is the first thing you must do, because you must be patient. Bitcoin is not a get rich quick scheme. It is a long-term investment, and the luckiest person, the most profitable human beings that are on this earth were those who invested in Bitcoin before 10 years, or maybe 14 years. So they were the most luckiest person. If someone invested in Bitcoin in this era, and he is still holding the Bitcoin into this era, he is going to be the wealthiest person in the world. He is going to be the wealthiest person. And there are a lot of them. Some invested here, and even we are here, and many of us are investing right here. Still, we are heading towards a very, very bright future. Very, very bright future. The first thing you must do, just stay. Don't quit. The second best thing, and it is even better than that you must accumulate. You must accumulate as many crypto, as many Bitcoins, as much amount of Bitcoin that you can in this 2023, because the prices are very low. This can be the all-time low you can see in your life. This can be the all-time low. And if you are able to accumulate more and more of crypto, more and more of Bitcoin or any other form of crypto, we all can become multi-millionaires in just 1 or 2 years. So you must focus, you must stay here, and you must focus on accumulating more and more crypto. So how to accumulate? There are many ways to accumulate. How you can accumulate? The first way is keep buying and increasing your portfolio. So every time you have some money, just go and buy some more of Bitcoin. Next month you earn a salary, just go and buy some more of Bitcoin, right? But only buy with that money that you don't need to sell for at least 2 years, right? Don't buy that with that money that you have to repay your landlord rents or your electricity bill next month or your children's education fees. Don't buy with that, because our purpose is to just buy and hold. buy and hold, right? This is called holding. Second thing, second way to accumulate is to trade. How you can increase your Bitcoin if you trade? Because we know that we have this wonderful tool called Royal Q that helps us to trade and accumulate more and more of Bitcoin. Even if one doesn't has much knowledge, much experience in how to trade, how to accumulate more and more of Bitcoin, still we have this wonderful tool. So this helps us. This wonderful tool helps us to increase our Bitcoin accumulation if we do this with the help of this automated tool Royal Q, right? So how Royal Q helps us? Because it is a super intelligent automated crypto trading bot that even is more intelligent than any other expert. The biggest expert in the world cannot trade even more effectively, more efficiently than this wonderful trader, because it is a robot. It is not a human being, because human beings have limitations. We cannot trade 24 hours. We cannot be alert every time in the market. We have emotions. We feel tired. We feel angry. We feel frustrated. We feel greedy. We feel fearful. We have a lot of emotions because we are human beings. But robot is free from all the human emotions. So it cannot give any error, right? So this is why Royal Q helps us to trade in cryptocurrency much more effectively, much more efficiently than we can do manually. And it is also automated, so it can help you to earn a trading income, as well as it can help you to accumulate crypto 24/7, because it works 24/7. It doesn't sleeps. Right? So it doesn't sleeps. It doesn't goes to rest. So we have security here. We have super intelligence here, and we have and the most expert trader that works for us 24/7 without taking a single minute of rest, right? So this is why Royal Q is the best. And how Royal Q helps us? Let's go to Royal Q now. Let's go to Royal Q, and I will start the second part of the presentation, right? I hope we are here for another 15 or 20 minutes, maybe. We are here. I hope we are here together, right? Are you excited to know how you can accumulate more and more of Bitcoin using this wonderful miracle tool that we all have? But most of us don't know how to use it. We have this tool, but we don't know how to use it. Okay. Most of us don't know how to use it. We have this powerful robot, but only the people who know how to use it, they will be able to use it at the maximum, in the best possible way, right? So let me show you the wonderful robot, the most wonderful robot I love in this world, that is called Royal Q. So how Royal Q can help you accumulate? So always remember our purpose. What is our purpose? Our purpose is not to earn daily income. Maybe some of you, maybe most of us want to earn a daily income also. So there can be two kinds of purpose. Purpose number one, to earn a daily income. Every day we want to earn a daily income because we want to eat food daily. We want to travel daily. We need petrol, we need gas for our vehicles. So we want daily income also. And second thing, we want income for the future. So we have two purposes, right? And Royal Q provides you solution for both of these purposes, both purposes. So how you can earn a daily income? We have many ways. You can go and share Royal Q with all your friends. You can go and share with Royal Q, all your friends. If you share the opportunity, if you share this wonderful robot, anybody who Royal Q gives you $30 to $70, depending on your rank, right? So even if you are a V1, even if you are a V1, you share to somebody and you get your $30. You share to 4 persons, just 4 people. You share it to one, you earn $30. You share it to 4 people, you get your $120 back. That is your cash back. The only investment you made in this Royal Q, you get it back, right? But this was the first part, to earn a daily income. To earn daily, you can do 2 things. Either you share it and earn $30 from everyone, just share. That is very easy. No investment needed, no expenses are there, just by word of mouth. Second, you can trade in USDT market with the help of signals that our leaders are providing you, right? We provide you signals. Just trade in the USDT market. Where is the USDT market? You can see here. This is the USDT market. Just go and trade in USDT market and you will get a lot of signals every day, maybe 1 or 2 every day. You can go and you can earn 3% to 5% depending on the signal, right? So maybe you have a good trading capital, you can earn daily income from there. But we must not forget our second purpose. That is a more important purpose, much important than the previous one, which is to accumulate. The second purpose is to accumulate more and more of Bitcoin, So how we can accumulate? We don't want to sell it. We just want to accumulate it for the coming 1 or 2 years, right? So how we can accumulate using Royal Q trading feature? We can go to this market. You can see here, the first market I told, that is USDT. That is for your daily trading income. Every day you trade, every day you earn, and you can withdraw every day and go and buy yourself pizza, like the previous pizza, right? You can go and buy some pizza, right? You can buy anything. But if your purpose is to accumulate, then you must go to this market, that is BTC market. How it helps you? It helps you to trade in the BTC market using all these pairs, right? How many pairs do we see here? We see here almost 6 pairs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 pairs here. You can choose any one or you can choose all of them if you have a good amount of capital, right? So suppose we choose any of them and we want to trade. What will happen? Suppose I choose this one, the last one. What will happen? How will it work and how will it help me to accumulate? Our purpose is to accumulate BTC, right? Not to spend it on pizza. We want to accumulate for the next 1 or 2 years. So how will it help me accumulate? I must have some amount of the base currency. What is the base currency? You can see here in all the coins, there is a one common currency, that is BTC, right? BTC. That is a base currency, right? Like in USDT market, we have some base currency, that is we have some USDT. So if we want to trade in any coin, we must start with some amount of USDT. So same in BTC market, we must have some amount of BTC for which we can trade in any of these pairs. So if you don't have any BTC in your account, in your Binance or Huobi, if you have some amount of USDT, just first step you need to do, go and convert it into BTC. You can go and search for the convert option, and the amount of BTC you want to trade with, you just calculate, and I will help you calculate in a coming few minutes. So this way you start with some amount of BTC if you trade in this pair. So how the Royal Q robot will work? So here we have XRP and we have BTC. We don't have XRP right now. We are just starting with BTC, right? So we have a few coins of BTC, a few amount of BTC. So how we set our trade, that will I will explain later. But how it will work? It will buy a first call and buy some amount of XRP. It will buy some amount of XRP. When it will buy? When it will buy? When the XRP price is going down. So as we set the parameters, if the XRP price goes down, we buy some amount of XRP and we have less of BTC. Our BTC is going less and this is increasing, right? Again, the price drop. Again, he takes the second margin call and we have less BTC and we have more of XRP. In this way, we are buying more and more of XRP. Now, what happens after this? The XRP prices start to rise, right? Because it is a cycle. What comes down, what must go up, what goes up must come down, right? So when it goes up, what the robot will do? It will sell all your XRP that you have bought previously and give you back your BTC. So this XRP will be minus, will be reduced to zero maybe if you have sold all the XRP, and the quantity of BTC will be back to the amount that you have started, but it will not give you the same amount of BTC. It will give you a little more than what you started with, right? How it will give you? Because the robot only sells on a profit. It doesn't sell on no profit. It doesn't sell on loss. It only sells when the BTC that you have traded, you are being trading is giving you some amount of profit, maybe 1.1%, maybe 1.5%, whatever profit you have feed in the parameters, right? So when the XRP, it will increase the quantity of BTC that you have inside your wallet. So suppose initially when you started, you have 1 BTC, but now you have 1.5 BTC or 1.05 BTC, right? According to the calculation. So you, in this way, if you trade on this cycle, on the cycle mode, it will keep on buying and selling. It will keep on buying and selling for the next coming 1 year or maybe 2 years or 5 years, whichever, how many times you are using this. So it will keep on buying and selling, keep on buying and selling. And what the result will be? You have accumulated more and more of BTC in this way. You have accumulated more. After you calculate after 1 year, you will see, you will be amazed to see that you have much more BTC than your initial amount. And you have not invested again. You have just invested once and started this trade. And now we are having more and more of BTC. So this way is the best way to accumulate BTC. This is the best way. Even it will help you accumulate more BTC than any other method. This is a wonderful method, right? So how you can do this? For this, we have to go to some trade, right? We have to go to for some trade. So I will open, suppose I open this BTC, right? You can open any pair. You can go and trade on any pair. So it will show you the beautiful chart of the market that if you trade on LTC, BTC, here is the pair. You can see the pair here. This is the pair and this is the market. This is the chart. This is the prices rising and falling. And you can see it is going up and down, up and down, up and down. It doesn't move in this way or this way or this way. It moves always ups and downs, ups and downs. So what robot will do? It will work for you 24/7 non-stop, and it will buy every time the prices touches the below, and it will sell every time the prices will go to the highest point. And this will keep on working, keep on trading in the cycle mode, right? So how you can set the parameters? Go to the bots from above, go to the bots. This way you set the trade and create bot and select the martingale strategy, because we have this martingale strategy bot that is inbuilt. This is the most loved strategy, martingale strategy, that we are so lucky that Royal Q is providing us this strategy for free. This is for free. So now we know how to create our own strategy. We don't want to use this copy strategy. We want to create our own strategy. So just click here, next, and it will take you this trading page, right? This is the trading page. And when you go to this trade settings, here you can set the trade. So you can see here how it is showing you these parameters. Actually, these parameters are set as a default setting by RoyalQ. So RoyalQ tells us that you can use the RoyalQ bot as a fully automated bot. You can use it as a fully automated. You don't need to come again and again every day and change the setting and change the percentage and change the multiple by. You don't need to do anything. Even if you are a newcomer, you don't know how to set these figures. You don't know what percentage to put where and how to start the trading. RoyalQ helps you to start this trade and using these default settings. And these settings are the best ones, best of the best. This is called the martingale strategy, right? So if you are a newcomer, you don't know how to start a trade in BTC market or any other market, and you don't have any senior to help you, you are just alone. Come to RoyalQ this way and start using the trade settings as a default setting. You don't need to change anything here, right? So how it helps you? It shows you, first of all, that the minimum first buy in amount. This is the first buy in amount, what you start with. This is the minimum first buy in amount, that is 0.0002 BTC. You are trading in BTC, right? So this is the minimum BTC that you need as a first buy. You can increase it also if you have more BTC, but let us calculate how much BTC do we need if we want to use this default setting. So second thing that it tells you, that you can have a margin call limit of, that is advisable for 7 margin calls, right? This is the best one. You can also edit it and reduce it or maybe increase it, but this is the best strategy, right? You don't need to change anything. It gives you 1.3% profit, and you can use a callback of 0.3%. Maybe you can reduce it or change it. That is up to you. That doesn't make much difference. The only thing important is here, what we see here in the margin configuration. The only thing important that decides how much we can accumulate BTC using this default setting is by going into this margin configuration. Rest all are simple features, right? So let's go dive into this margin configuration. So when we open this margin configurations, these are our 7 calls. These are our 7 calls. And what the default settings are showing us, that these are the margin call drop. These are the margin call drops. That if the market drops, it shows that if you start with the first buy, what was the first buy? 0.0002 BTC, not USDT. That is BTC, right? This was the first buy. So if you buy the first buy with this BTC and the market drops 3.5% below, you were asking the robot to go and buy 2 times. 2 times of what? Of this amount of BTC. That is your first buy in amount, FB, right? So every time the market drops, it will buy into this multiple buy-in ratio of the first buy amount, right? And how much the market will drop, we can set it here. So it has already set in this way that if the market drops 3.5%, you can buy your first buy into 2 times, right? First buy into 2 times. If the market again drops from this level 4% below, go and buy 4 times into the first buy amount. Again, the market drops 4.5%, go and buy for me 8 times into the first buy, right? I hope this is easy. Again, the market drops 5.2% below this line, right? So it will go and buy 16 times your first buy amount. So how can we calculate what is the total margin call drop? What is the total, how much call drop are we covering in the market, and how much multiple buys, or actually how much BTC do we need to trade on this default setting? Just add all these figures on the left, and all these features, all these figures on the right separately, right? The left will give you on the total margin call drop. If you add these, this will be around 48%, around maybe less than 48%, around 48%. So we can, if we have this capital and we want to trade using this default setting, what Royal Q is telling us that if the market falls from where you start to below 48%, the price goes 48% below, still you will be trading non-stop on a fully automated way till the price drops more than 48%, right? But as we know, we have some experience for the last 1 or 2 years. We already seeing that how much the market has been dropped, right? How much the market dropped in the last 1 year. It has already dropped more than 50%. So it has already dropped this 48% and it has crossed it. So now most of the experts that are calculating and that are predicting that it may not drop so much. Maybe we can still be on a safer side, and we can set a drop of almost 30%, right? So you can edit these figures. All these figures to the left, and the minimum total you must have should be 30%, right? So how you can do it? If I go and change it, you can note it down in your diaries and notepads. You can note it down. So I can change it to 1%, because I want the robot to buy for me quickly. I don't want to wait for another 4% or 5% drop. I want second call again 1%. Third call I can give 2%. Right? Third call I can give 2%. Fourth call I can give again 2%. First two is 1%. Second two are 2%. Then I can increase it little bit to 6%, or maybe you can do 5%, and then 6% again, and then I can increase it to maybe 12%. I can leave it like this, 12%, or maybe you can reduce it to 10%, right? So if you go and calculate all these figures, if you go and calculate all this, 1 plus 1, that is 2, plus 2, 4, plus 2, 6, plus 6, that is 12, plus 6, that is 18, and plus 18 plus 12, that is 30. So in this way, you can cover almost 30% drop, right? And still, if the market drops below 30, that is most least expected thing, you can increase the 8th or 10th margin call, few margin calls, and go and increase your margin call drops and margin calls, right? So this way you can set the robot to cover almost 30%, right? Second thing that is most important, that is the multiple buy-in ratio. So this actually decides how much capital do you need to trade on this default setting, right? So there are 3 kinds of strategies. I will give you 3 kinds of strategies, and you can use either of these 3. That depends how much capital do you have. Capital in form of BTC, right? So the best one, I will give you 3. Lekin first, I will give you the best one. What is the best one? That is the best of the best. That is called double up. Double up strategy, right? So what is a double up strategy? And we are actually seeing this strategy. This is the actual double up strategy. that the Royal Queue robot gives us as a default setting, right? If you see here, in the first call, you buy 2 times, and every next call you buy double of the previous call, right? So if you buy first call as 2 times, you buy it 4 times in the second call, you buy double of 4, that is 8 times in the third call, and so on. 16, then 34, then 64, then 128. So you are just doubling up what you bought previously. And why this is called the best? There is an expert strategy. This is an expert strategy. Actually, this is called martingale strategy. And double up strategy, what it helps you, it helps you to bring the average price closer to the current price. Closer and closer to the current price. So where we can see the average price? If we go to the first page, this is where we started. You see there is an average price and this is the current price. Here it is 0 because we haven't started, right? But this is showing the current price. So our purpose should be how we design the strategy that should helps this average price become closer and closer to this current price. So only if the average price is closer, the robot will be able to sell very fast and give you profit. And if the average price is far from this, average price is little far from this price, what you see a floating profit here. You see a floating profit here. So if you don't want to see a bigger profit, a bigger floating loss, if you don't want to see a big floating loss here in this column, what you need to do, you need to use the double up strategy. That will help you to minimize the floating loss and increase the possibilities of closing the position. How the robot closes the position? By selling all you bought previously and give you back your BTC with some amount of profit, right? Profit. So this is the best strategy that you can use. But there is one challenge here. There is one challenge that it requires the maximum amount of capital. So if you don't have any problem using a big capital, you can use this best strategy, right? But if you have a little capital, I will give you 2 more options, right? I will give you 2 more options. Don't worry, just stay with me. I will give you many options. So first we can calculate how much capital do we require if we want to use this default setting, that is the best double up strategy. Just go and calculator, just go to calculator and add up all these figures. 2 plus 4 plus 8 plus 16 plus 32 plus 64 plus 128. If anybody can use the calculator, they can use it right now. I have already calculated this. So what if I add up all these figures? I will get a figure of 254. So what is this exactly? 254. This is the multiple times the robot will buy for you of your first buy in amount. First buy in amount into this 24 multiplied by this. But this is not the actual multiple buy. We must add another 1 to it. Why 1? Because that was our first buy. The first buy. We haven't counted in the margin calls. So always add 1 after you add up all these things. Just add 1 and the total will be 255 times, right? 255 times. So if we add 255, let me go to the calculator and do this for you. Let's go to the calculator and do this practically. Okay. So let me calculator from here. So we just added up all these figures. That was the total of 254 plus 1, that is the first buy. So we came up with 255. So what is this? This is the multiple times the robot will buy and we must multiply it with the first buy-in amount. What was the first buy-in amount? 0. If you remember, 0002. So actually, this is the amount of BTC. This is the amount of BTC capital. The capital you need in BTC if you want to use this double up strategy, right? This is the amount of BTC you need, 0.051. So if you have this amount of BTC, you can start with. And how much is it in value? If we want to calculate how much USDT do we require for this amount of BTC, just multiply it with the current price. What is the current price? Can anybody tell me? So let's take it as a round figure, right? 23,000. Maybe it is 100 or 200 above or below, right? Let's take it a round figure, 23,000 USDT. So if one BTC is 23,000 in value, in price, so how much the value will be of 0.051 BTC? We need a USDT capital of 1173 USDT. This is the amount of USDT that you require. 1173 USDT. If you have this amount of USDT, you can go and convert it into BTC. You will get 0.051 BTC. Then come to Royal Q and start this trade using the default strategy. Don't have to change anything, right? Just keep it as it is. But the challenge is, some people may say, maybe some of you have more than 1,000. So if you have around 2,000, if you have around 2,000 USDT, if you have around 2,000 USDT, you can go and trade on 2 coins, any of 2 coins out of the 6. If you want to trade on 3 coins, just multiply it with 3. So you need around 3.500 USDT if you want to trade on 3 coins. If you want to trade all the 6 coins, you need 7,000, around 7,000 USDT, right? So this is the amount of capital you require, and it depends how many coins do you want to trade. So for those people who have from 1,000 to 7,000 USDT with them, and they don't want to withdraw it for the next 1 year at least, you must go and use this strategy as your default setting and trade as many coins as you want. But for each coin, you must have at least 1,173 BTC, USDT, right? So is it simple or is it hard? Is it very simple? It is very simple. But it is hard for those people who don't have this much of USDT. Suppose someone says, I have just 500 or 600 USDT. Can I trade? Yes, you can trade. Definitely. So how can you go and trade with a lesser amount? Let's come back to here. So you can go for the second best strategy, that is called Fibonacci. It is called Fibonacci. How it works? You just have to change these figures like I'm going to do right now. First call, you keep it 2, right? The second call, change 4 to 3, right? 2, 3. Then what you do? Add up these 2 and put a 5 here, right? Add up these 2 and put a 5 here. This will be your third call. Then for the fourth call, add up these 2, the last two, 3 plus 5, and put an 8 here. Same way for the fifth call, add up the last 2 calls, 5 and 8, that will give you 13 here, right? So this way you can put your strategy and you can start with a lesser capital. So let's calculate how much capital do we require. First was double up, that will require 1173. Now we can add up now. So suppose we do one more thing. We increase the margin call from 7 to 8. We add up one more margin call because we can have more margin calls if we use the second best one, right? So how will you add the 8 margin calls, right? Now we have 8 margin calls. So just calculate, just add up 2 plus 3, then 5, then 2 plus 3, 5, 3 plus 5 is 8. Then what is 5 plus 8? That is 13. What is 8 plus 13? That is 21. What is 13 plus 21? That is 34. And what is 21 plus 34? That is 55. So we have these 8 calls right now, right? And how much is the total? 141. 141. But don't forget to add 1. That is the first buy. So actually we need a multiple of 142 times of what? Of our first buy in amount. What was that? 0.0002. Don't forget it, right? So this is actually a multiple of the first buy. And now we have this figure. This is actually the amount of BTC you want to trade with, right? This is actually the amount of BTC required if you want to trade with the Fibonacci, the second best one. This is also good, but it is not as good as the plus one, right? You can compromise a little, but if you have a little capital, right? So how much USDT do we require? We have to multiply it with the current price. What is the current price? Suppose it is 23,000. So here we have 653. Initially, if we use the double up, we required 1173. If you remember, this was the amount required. This was the USDT capital required. Now we are almost 50%. We require just half of it, right? Around 650 USDT, right? So if you have this amount of capital, or maybe you have 11,000, you can go for Fibonacci and trade on 2 coins, right? You can do this way also. Just select the Fibonacci, set it up, and select 2 coins in BTC pair, and you can trade on 2 coins. But remember, this is the best one, right? This will help you earn daily profits much more quickly. This will help you to get out of the trade much more quickly. And this will be a little slow, right? But this works also. So this was the second one. Now, if someone says, what if I have just around 200 to 300 USDT? Many of us are we have this financial problem, so we cannot arrange 200 or 600 USDT. Many of us want to trade with 200 or 300 USDT, right? So what is the third best one? This is the third best. That is called, this one is called plus one, right? So as its name says, you just add plus 1 here, right? So just like this, I added 2, then 3, then we can add 4 and 5 and so on, right? So one thing we can do here, we can have now 10 margin calls here. We can change it to 10, right? So we will have 10 margin calls. So this will require little capital. So we can change it to 10. Now, if we change it to 10 and go to margin configuration, these are our 10 calls, right? These are our 10 calls. And now you can set it. It is very simple, very easy. Just increase, keep on adding 1 plus 1. That is why it is called plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on, right? 10 times. So how much capital do you require? And one more thing, if you want to change these figures, margin call drop, you have to change it every time you change the margin calls. So you must keep on increasing little, and the total must be around 30%, right? So you can, this is not a very matter of very technical thing. You can choose any kind of strategy, just add up to 30%. Maybe you can start with one, a few times one, then two, then three, then four, then five, then six, like this. So how much capital is required? That is the main thing. So let's add it. And now remember, we have 10 margin calls, right? We don't have 7 or 8. We now can trade with 10 margin calls. So we will start with 2, then add 1 on each call, right? 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 10, 10 and 11. So these are our 10 margin calls. So if we total this up, this is 65 times, plus don't forget the first buy, that is one time. So actually we are just buying 66 times. So how much BTC do we require for this? We can multiply it 0.0002, the first buy in amount, right? This is our first buy. So actually we require 0.0132 BTC for this. And what is the cost of this BTC? How much capital in USDT do we require? Just multiply it with the current price. Suppose it is 23,000. So you can trade with $300. Just you need $300 for this strategy, right? So in this way, I gave you 3 options. This is the plus one. You need $300. If you want to go for a better one, this is a good. This is good. This is good. But what is better than this? Better. That is the Fibonacci. Fibonacci. So you need around 600 something dollars, right? For this one. And if you want to go for the best one, that is the double up. And you need around 1100 USDT. So these, now we have 3 options: good, better, and best. Everything depends on your capital. If you have $300, you can go and trade on this. If you have $600 plus dollars, so you can trade on the better one, or you can trade with the best one. Or another way you can do, if you have, suppose you have more than $1,000. Suppose you have more than $1,000. You can go and trade on one coin using this. We can be very smart also, right? Suppose you have around $1,000. You can choose one coin and start with Fibonacci, and choose another coin and start with +1. So if you total both, you will need around $1,000, right? So this way also you can use. But if you want to use the best one, you can trade on just one coin. So what if somebody sells? I hope these 3 are interesting. And one more thing before I leave. What if somebody has a little capital, even much less than $300? Suppose a friend of you joins you and he says, Leader Julius, I have just $100. I cannot afford more. I just have $100. Can I trade on BTC pair or no? Yes, definitely you can trade, but you have to make some changes, right? So let's go and calculate how can you set the figures, the parameters. If you have just $100 and you don't want to miss the bus, you don't want to miss the bus of BTC accumulation, right? This is the best bus you can ride on. So if you just have $100, first thing you do, go and divide it with the current price. Divide your $100 with the current price. You will come to know how much BTC you will get. So this is the amount of BTC you will get. The first step is divide with the current price. So you can calculate this is the amount of BTC I have. If I go and convert my $100 into BTC, right now I go and buy some BTC with $100, I will get this amount of BTC. How much is it? 0.0043, right? So it is a long figure. Let us round it off. 0.0043. 0.443, right? So this is the amount of BTC that you actually have. Now, second thing you can do, divide this by the first buy in amount. What is the first buy in amount? First buy in amount. Anybody remembers what is the first buy in amount? What was the first buy in amount? Can anybody answer this in the chat? So far, I have been teaching you and you've been listening. You've been a nice. What was the first buy in amount? I need some answers. Just to make sure how many people are listening to me and how many are making notes. What was the first buy in amount? If anybody remembers, if anybody was attentive all the time, he must know. Yes, I have a few answers that are 0.0002 BTC, right? Absolutely correct.
Also, I have some few answers here, Coach Manish.
Yes.
We have Tekino saying 0.002. Lady Catherine saying 0.002. Harry is saying 0.002. Cyprian is saying 0.002. Frank is saying 0.0002. Sheila is saying 0.0002. We have so many answers. To Hyred, there was also saying 0.0002. Emmanuel from Nigeria is saying 0.00003. Right, continue, Coach. We go on.
Okay. So if now we know, and now I know also that most of you are listening to me and making notes. So now we know how much BTC do we require. We actually have 0.0043 BTC. Let's just give me 1 minute, 1 second. I'm coming back, right? Right. So sorry for this. So now we have the first buy-in amount, that is 0.0002. So we just calculate how much capital do we have in BTC and just divide your capital with the first buy-in amount. So now we know what we have. We can buy the first buy-in amount with a multiple of 21.5. This is how we calculate how much times we can buy with the amount of BTC we have, right? So we can buy 21.5 with this, right? So what we can do now, just keep this figure in mind, 21.5. So we can apply any of these three strategies, just add it up and see how much margin calls we can have, right? So always we start with the first buy-in amount, right? First buy, that was 1 time. So we will start with 1 because that is the first buy-in amount, right? And now we add up the first margin call. So if we want to use the best strategy, that is a double up. So we add 2 here, then add 4, then 4 into 2. Sorry for that. Let us share the screen again. Right. So I started with 1. 1 time is the first buy-in amount. Then the first margin call is 2. Remember, we are using the double up strategy, right? 2 plus 4 plus 2 plus 4 plus 8 plus what is after that? 16, right? So keep an eye here. Keep this reading. This must not be more than 21.5. So now we see that it is more than 21. So what we can do? Delete the last call How much we have? We have 15 times minus the 21.5. That is the maximum time we can buy. So what we have, this is the last margin call multiple time. So if you don't understand, let me do it again. Start with 2. Start with 2. That is the first margin call. Plus 4, plus 8. Now plus 6.5. 6.5. That will be your 4 margin calls. This is the first margin call, second margin call, third margin call, and fourth margin call. So we have 20.5 plus the first buy-in amount, that is 1 time. We have to add 1. So this way we can give the parameters and keep 4 margin calls using the double up strategy. So if you are using this in this way on a little capital, you must trade on a one shot, right? Always remember, if you have the full amount of capital, you can trade on cycle because you can open 7 to 10 margin calls. But if you are trading in just 4 or 5 margin calls, make it one shot. So again, you can start again after the robot has sold. So what if we want to use the plus 1? That is the weaker one. So start with 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. Keep an eye here, right? Keep an eye on this. This should not be exceeding 21.5. 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6. Now we have 20 here. So we have 20, and we also know that the first buy we need to add the first buy also. That is 1 time. So this way we can trade on 5 margin calls. 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. That is 20 plus the first margin call. That is 20. Total of 20 times, right? So this way also, if someone comes to you and he says, I have a little capital, you can trade with as little as $100. If you have around $300, you can trade with the plus 1 strategy using 10 margin calls. If you have around $650, so you can trade with Fibonacci. That is the second best one, using 8 margin calls. And if you have more than $1,000, so you can trade with 7 margin calls using the double up strategy. That is the best one. So these are all the tricks and figures how you can use it. So this is it for now today, and from my side, I hope you have understood everything, and now you can see the importance of BTC accumulation, how you can compound it. For compounding, we are already so blessed that we have our wonderful leader Julius with us, who comes up with many new innovative ideas, and he just introduced the compounding calculator also. You can use both of these things, the accumulation plus compounding, using the calculator, and you can yourself calculate, or maybe Leader Julius will help you to calculate how much can you compound in this way if you are using BTC market, right? So thank you so much, Leader Julius, for giving me this opportunity again. And over to you if you want to explain further.
Wow, thank you so much, Coach Manish. If Coach Manish did an amazing work for you, could you give him some thumbs up, ladies and gentlemen? Some thumbs up, some love hearts for work well done. Thank you so much. This is our appreciation to you. Thank you for the service you do for the team. We pray the Almighty reward you abundantly so that things can work for you very well. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Have a nice day till we catch up on our next meeting.